Inspire.
Omulabi waffe owa Spark TV nkwaniriza nate ku program ya Inspire, program y'abakyala bato abalina ebintu ebyenjawulo bye bakola. Ebintu ennaku zino abakyala bye bakola byewuunyisa, oba ngambe nti ennaku zino akagambo haso kakyase nnyo. So abawala baagala obulamu obulungi ate bafubye okulaba nga babwetuusaako, tebakyatuula kulera ngalo okulinda babeere nga babibatuusaako. Abaana ennaku zino bahasoninga. So omulembe guno of course gwaba entrepreneurs. That's why I always bring you different young women abayina ebintu ebyenjawulo bye bakola. Abamu muyinza okulowooza nti entrepreneurship business zino eza bulijjo, naye ne mu corporate world tuyinayo ba entrepreneurs. Olwaleero nina founder CEO owa Little Miss Uganda agenda kubatubuulira ekirowoozo yakifuna atya. Omanyi abantu abamu tubagamba okwetandikirawo ekintu mulowooleza nnyo mu maduuka, mulowooleza nnyo mu koloba ebintu kwegamba ebirabi ebikwatibwako ebyetaaga capital, but all you need is an idea. Nti ebintu bingi ebibeerayo ne mu media oyinza okulowooza yiyi media nsobola okubeera entrepreneur. Yes, osobola okubeera nannyini show yo nga bw'olaba Inspire n'omanya nti yo I'm selling this content. So there are so many ideas out there lwakuba kintu kipya tuze twakakiyingiramu nti naye bw'otunuulira rate of employment mtono nnyo, abantu bangi bali unemployed. So bwe tuba nga tusobola okukaminga up with our ideas ne tubaako bye twetandikirako tusobola okulwanyisa like ekintu kino ekya unemployment. N'olwaleero nina omugenyi ow'enjawulo naye ngenda kuba mu batuusaako. Program ya Inspire nze Shira Nakayemba, tubeerayo buli lwa Sunday ssaawa 12 n'ekitundu ez'akawungeezi. Inspire. Yes, nga bwe nkutegeezeza I have a special guest today naye nga sinamu banjulira abanyambaza be ba Clarets Boutique, omukyala Joan. Osobola omukubira address woba ogyagadde ku 0772 330591 naye neera abatukkiriza okolera mu kifo kyabwe ekirungi kino. It's a beautiful place. Beba Mosa Restaurant wano ku Freedom City awali Spamania. So Spamania Mosa Restaurant bebali mu kifo kino. Sigenda barisaayo. Trisha. Welcome on Inspire.
Thank you.
So who is Trisha?
Trisha is a simple girl, a mother of 2.
Your mother?
Yes, married. My full names are Kyomuhendo, Julian, Trisha, and I'm the proprietor of Little Miss Uganda. Yes.
Wow, so you remember Little Miss Uganda? I hosted the girls during Christmas. Wow, they were so amazing. So most of the girls I've hosted, they are either into these businesses. I've started up this, I've started up this. Yes. So I want to know, how did you come up with the idea of Little Miss Uganda?
How I come up with the idea? I've participated in quite different pageants in Uganda. I was in Miss Tourism and I was Miss Tourism Bunyoro. That was in 2014. Then I did Miss Uganda and then Miss Earth, but though now it faded away. I also did Miss Earth and I was Miss Earth Western region. From there, like, you know, being young, I felt like there are things I would have achieved when I'm
Started
earlier.
Yeah.
But because I just had to wait for me to get involved in these things, so I felt like there is an edge that is really left out that needs like has a lot really to show.
Then you went to learn I wish I had started at an early age.
Yes. So and then Little Miss Uganda, and like I thought of something that would involve young girls to for them to showcase their talent, their beauty, like these kids are very talented in very many things. So I just had to get I had to think harder of what is that I can involve these kids, like the girl child, like involve them together into something. Then the idea came, Little Miss Uganda, and boom, I started in 2017. Yeah.
So, Little Miss Uganda, me, I thought these beauty pageants, I thought over there government ideas. I thought
No, they're not government ideas. It's someone. It's how you sit down and
so
think.
you came up with your idea.
Yes, I shared it with. I remember those days when I was starting. I shared it with my mother, and I told her I need to start something.
How old were you by then?
By then I was 20. I was 20, making 21, and I told her I need to start something. She's like, okay, it's not a bad idea. It depends on how you carry yourself. How you need to think about very many things. Public again, are you going to be the person who is spoiling their children? Yeah. Are you going to, like, you need to know government, like, how is the community going to take you at the end of the day? Then I shared it with a friend who, like, we started up together. Like, I was like, you know what, we need to start this thing. So by that time I was so busy up and down, I had to be out of the country, then I came back. So it's not really government what.
Setting up a business is a little bit easier. You know, I need capital, I need this money,
exactly.
I need this.
Yes.
But putting an idea like that
together, yes, it's really so hard because
there's so many things. You had participated in different pageants and you know how the costs and everything.
Exactly. And to even shock you, when I went for these pageants, when I went for Miss Tourism, I think as I was finishing up Miss Tourism, like that's when the idea pops up. Then I start to see how these people are operating. Actually, I went for Miss Uganda when I was already the director of Little Miss Uganda. So basically, me, whenever each pageant I would go for, I would want to get the different connections. Like that's the only way, because I'm like, these people are in the industry, the media. Like I have got very many friends who are media personalities and all that. Like to create this friendship between very many, like the industry out there. Yes, so it's a slow by slow process.
That's the beauty about an idea. You get an idea, you start building it slowly.
Yes, because I know what
if
really
you're
I want.
Passionate about it.
That's very true. Because I know what I want as a person. I see the dream. I see where I'm going to be 10 years or 5 years or what. I see that. So if I try so hard to see that in the 5 years, at least I've achieved this. In the 10 years, we would have achieved this. And slowly by slowly, we get there. Yes.
So you told your friends, you started watching how other beauty pageants are organized. Yes. When did you start?
We started in 2017, officially. Yes, because we are now 5 years. This year is going to be the 6th year. So we started in 2017. It wasn't easy, like anyone who knows.
That's the experience I want to know. How did you kickstart, like?
It wasn't like really easy. One, I didn't want to fix parents on a wall. But then you realize you're starting, you don't have sponsors. You actually have partners only.
What did you have by then?
By then, the only little money I had from my savings, because I was out of the country and then I had to come back, so all my savings I had to put them in there. And then my friends really like stood there for me, the Miss Tourism girls. That year they really like supported me so much. They posted and did what. I auditioned, and surprisingly we got kids who came for the auditions. And then what after I auditioned?
So you just woke up one day, you're like, let's do audition, let me organize this.
Yes.
Little Miss Uganda competitions, are they called competitions or what?
Yes, Little Miss Uganda Beauty Pageant, yes.
2017.
Yes, we even launched at the Uganda Museum. We did a press conference.
How much did you have by then?
Now, these are people like I'd created a friendship with these people.
So you only had social capital?
I'm just so loved, by the way. All these media guys who came that day, they came as to support Trish. They came to support me, and I'm really so much appreciative. Like, when I kept them up to now, they are still my friends. Like, they really supported me. They came and had the press conference. It was there. It was on different stations and what. Before I knew it, the next Saturday as we were auditioning, like putting out the auditions, we had a number of kids who came to audition. But I had an idea. I'm like, even if I audition 50 kids, my minimum number this year has to be 15 to 20 kids. That's the budget I had, because we looked at feeding them in boot camp. We looked at them being dressed in boot camp. We looked at paying the venue, you know, where the grand finale is going to be. So I needed a small number that I personally can handle in case A and B and C fails. Something that I can handle personally. Yes, so it was a question.
I find kids so delicate.
Very.
So I'm looking at how you convinced parents. You yourself, what were you thinking? How am I going to take care of these kids? You see, we all have different backgrounds. Some
That's
are from
true.
rich families. They expect to eat this and this.
Yes.
Some are from humble backgrounds.
Yeah.
So what was in your mind by then?
Sometimes this would go very, like, it's an advice I would give to everyone. If you're to do something, sit down, put yourself in a person's shoe that you are doing this for, you know. So I always put myself in a shoe of a parent. I ask myself questions that I expect to be asked. Sit down, reason myself, then I put it out. It was a process I had to think of very hard, because you're bringing in kids. One, it wasn't a stay-home boot camp, like whereby kids come and stay in a hotel or what. It was pick and drop. You bring your kid in the morning, then you drop them at 2. Of course, we have lunch there. Whatever lunch we do, the kids have got to eat. Whether you're international or local or middle or what, you all have to share this meal.
The same meal.
It doesn't matter where you're coming from or who gives birth to you or what. If you're in Little Miss Uganda.
Did you get some training about handling kids? Did you talk to anyone? You know, when you get this idea, you know, I'm handling kids. Did you do some research, go through some training?
Research, I researched enough. I watched a lot of online classes of handling kids and all that. But then personally, I love children. I love children. When I'm around kids, you may think I'm a kid too. And growing up, kids would really love me so much, and mostly girls, because I would be there, I'm in your hair, I'm doing this for you, I'm doing this for you, I'm doing this for you.
The reason I'm asking this, abantu bangi bajane business idea, not necessarily, okay, let me call them business ideas. Nae, like last time I hosted someone, I call her babysitting. And then the next time I get someone calling me, I do babysitting, can you please post on your socials such that people can know what I do? Because me, at first I thought she wanted me to host her, but she wanted me to post her work. But this is a person I don't know about. And we are talking about kids. You want to take care of other people's kids. I don't know you personally. I don't know anything about you. So I was like, what guarantee do I have that you are a good person, that you're going to take? So in most cases, wetuba tulowooza ku zino ideas, tulina okukola research ne tumanya nti abantu bano kyetaagisa. You're not going to just come to me and tell me I'm a babysitter, give me your kid. What your process, join okugendamu? After doing research, what are you supposed to do?
Yes, it's really important. After doing research, task yourself to what you've learned. There is no point of you okusoma ekintu oba okukiyiga notakiteeka mu nkola. It's useless. It's pointless. You actually tokisoma lwakuba nti no, yes, at the end of the day we study to earn, you know. But after earning, does your reputation stay? You know, what comes after the money? Are you going to do something and after 2 years everyone is going to be like, no, I cannot have my kid go for Little Miss Uganda, you know? Are you favoring money instead of what your career is. Like, you need to know a brand, it's a process. You need to build your brand step by step and make sure your mistakes, if people tell you about your mistakes, please work on them, because that's the only way a business grows. If people tell you about the bad things that I've seen and you push them away, you're pushing away half of the brand.
Some people, just because they came up with ideas, they think it's me who came up with this, so you don't have to tell me how to do it.
No, we have ideas, but the only way to build the idea better and better is by criticism. You know, if people criticize you some point, it's what actually has kept me going. Whenever the show is done, I sit down with parents. What didn't you like? What didn't you see happening right this time around?
Exactly. So we are going in for a short break. You're still watching Inspire. But tukoma agenda kubatubulira, how was the first pageant? How did it go? Securing the name Little Miss Uganda. What was the process? Katuumulemu tukomeo. Inspire. Wewa okulikayo mukuwumulamu okwo nkyagenda maaso n'emboozi ya Trisha, director Little Miss Uganda. Naye nga tetuneeyongerayo, Faith yankozeko makeup, osobola omufuna ku 0709 52 20 21. Just ka simple Facebook naye bw'oba okaagadde osobola omukubirako. Program ya Inspire gye tukyalaba tubeerayo buli lwa Sunday saa 12:30 ez'akawungeezi. Show y'abakyala bato kugabana naawe ebintu ebyenjawulo. Manyi tugenda ne twesibira nnyo mu koona zaffe eyo, but when you listen to these stories omanya obulamu butambula butya, what are different ventures zosobola okukola ki naawe okwenyigiramu, teweesibira nnyo mu kafundaako. Ulirizako ku bantu abalala what they have to say, how can it help you. So Trisha, obadde okyatubulira, I want to know the experience of organizing the first pageant.
It was dramatic. Because people do mistakes and then you move on, you know.
But at least you can share some.
A hint of it.
Yeah.
It was hectic. One, we didn't have sponsors. We had partners. Partners, like we shared, like you give me, I give you the space, you give me this. You give me your product, I give you space. That was Chetwali now at that time. We got somewhere where we could train from. They really helped me a lot. It's a modeling agency of kids. It's called ISO Medical Harm. They really helped me a lot. They gave me space where to train from. It was the most important thing. Me having space where to train from was the most important thing. Then I got a designer to dress up the kids. We just had to buy material and him to do the dresses. Now it came to the venue. I went and reached out to Uganda Museum. I asked them for a venue. They really did. They did it because I was a former Miss Tourism girl. Okay. Like, this is how these pageants actually came helping me out, the ones I had done earlier. So I got to Uganda Museum and I had not thought of, like, we needed a stage and a stage, like production, you know. And we needed it. At the end of the day, we needed it. So today, yes, so today is a Saturday and tomorrow is Sunday, it's the show. We go to the Uganda Museum and we all look at each other. I had my friend, she's called Eve. She's the CEO of eWorld. So she asked me, the stage. We reached the Uganda Museum, we actually didn't have a stage. And there was, I don't know, there was a wedding taking place that day. You know how wedding platforms are, seriously. It's going to be where the Mogole sits and a few stairs and, you know, something simple. I reached, there was this wedding, we had to wait for it to end, and then we looked at the people who had put that stage there, that small platform. So we approached the guys and I'm like, excuse me, hello, how are you? I'm this and this and this. I would like to use your stage. Imagine, like, you know, for pageants, it has to have a walkway and all that. Ngamba nyamba bambi njagala stage enkya nina omukolo wano naye sina stage nyamba. So he was really so nice, surprising me. He left his platform there and then he just added us the walkway. It was drama. He added us the walkway, then we left. Pepsi gave us tents, like tents where people had to sit. Like we put people in different seats. Now I was worried of getting people to come and watch the show. I was like, are people going to come? Now, you know, because you're counting a lot on this money for the entries, because you have this man who has given you his stage, he needs his money. We had judges who needed money. And I'm like, okay, what next?
Even the people who helped you around the ushers, the what? At least you...
No, those ones are just good friends. My friends, like, I really thank so much my friends because they've really been so much part of my journey. Like, I can't take them for granted. They chip in and then they start helping here and here. So among the judges, I called Mr. Joram. I called Joram and then a few people, I don't know, there was a very young baby who came in because I wanted a kid to judge. Reason being, if a child sees a kid, they connect. Always when I'm doing, even up to now, if I'm doing pageants, there is a kid on the panel. Why? The kids to relate with this person. So it was drama. Fine enough, the show happened with our stage that was really open. You may think it's a wedding, but it was a pageant happening. Backstage, we just put there a tent whereby kids would come on stage. It was, oh my God. Remember the museum, there is a way it has its bumps and ups. Oh God. It was a show to remember. The experience was from morning. I cried.
It was a tough one, but I think it's you see these experiences are meant to build us. At least when you remember how far you've come. Now, even if you got a challenge, you're like, if I manage to overcome this,
the other one.
That's what I always tell people. Just get an idea. God will provide. Trust Him.
Exactly. Sometimes it's you know, people you start up something and if you expect too much, it is always good to expect too much. Si kibi okukuba plan n'ogamba kino ekintu ngenda kifuna million 10 but si olunaku
naye jjukira nti kiyinza obutafuna
beerayo n'essuubi nti kiyinza obutafuna oba bwe nkitandika kino nekikola kiyinza okunziriza ki ssente naye nga bwe wakitandika n'ogamba kati kentandise wano mu myezi ng'etaano obukadde bujja kuba like n'obala bwe batyo ogenda ggwa before you know it.
You talked about the designer. Tewagamba nti since I'm starting kangambe parents beteremu ssente ku dressing abaana baabwe biki.
That was the hardest part because I asked for 80,000 naye ku 8,000 nga kuliko gown nga kuliko lunch. It becomes hectic. Kati kyatuka ne kinyingira nnyo. Miscalculating, I should say, but I don't blame myself for miscalculating it because it now yields. It's now it counted off right now. You get, but it gave me a learn. There is a step I learned. Okay, if I'm to tell parents to give me this, I need to specify. Give me money for lunch. Give me money for gowns. It's different. Participation fee also has got to be different because I have trainers that I need to pay. Like when I give you the fee, I outline what money your money is going to do. You have a t-shirt on it, you need to pay for it, you need to pay for this. Like I give you a budget and how much it's going to be costing. By that time, I put myself in their shoes. At the end of the day, nesimanya nti olumu nange kigenda kola ki kunyigiriza. Yes. Underestimating nekituka nekikola ki nekinyiga, but then it gave me a learning. Like I learned something out of that. Yes, I learned something so important about that, how to manage.
So abaana bamaze okuwangula already zino tezimaze because I believe nti omuntu awangudde abaako ne byafuna.
The winner had to get 1M. Yes. Ate nga weeziri. Ate ziriwo. But you know you've put it there. It has to be what? To be one. Teziriwo. Kati ye olumu omuzadde ayinza obutakiraba nti teziriwo. Eriyo omuntu kwogamba nti ssente teziriwo n'alowooza nti omulimba. Alaba abantu batudde alaba kiki naye n'atamanya nti ne stage abaana gye batambuliddeko kubadde kufa bufi.
Banja ate nga naye ogifunye mu bugubi.
Okitegeera. N'atayagala ebyo byonna bimanya. Yalina okusasula the end of the day. Nenkitwalako omwaka. Like, bumping and Numa, because it was a grand, like, you know, kids, it gets emotional when it comes to kids. When you tell them to give them something, you have got to give it to them. You have got to give it to them. Naye nekimpa ekyokuyiga nti mu 2018 nesiteekawo ki grand price ya cash kyampa ekyokuyiga. 2018 ne 19 saateekawo ki cash. I didn't. Because nengamba emba sinnabeera ready for this. I will not put it. Let me make sure mu bootcamp bana ebaja they get to learn a lot. Omuzadde kyaneenyumirizaamu okusinga ki cash price. Okitegeera. Era cash price yakaddeeko kiki.
Kyogamba 2018 ne 2019 abaana tebalina kye baawangula.
Abo tebaafuna. Tebalina kye baafuna.
Kati akakadde wakajjawa.
Kati obuvubi.
Omusasula mu
bitundutundu. Nofunyeyo 10 ng'omuwa. Nofunyeyo 2 ng'omuwa. Like, it's a process. It's a process by process thing. Bwekugamba sirina ssente, kiri eri ggwe, kitwale oba kigaanye. Nkugambye sirina. Sigenda kwekutula just to make you happy. I do not do that.
So recently now dengenda ku omanyi you can't tell nti abantu bali serious nnyo okutuusa ng'ogenza okuwandiisa company.
Yes.
Otuukayo ng'amannya gonna golowoozaako bagatwala dda n'ogamba So securing the name Little Miss Uganda tewakifuna mu buzibu?
No, I didn't, because I think no one had already even thought about it. When I was there, it was no one. It was no one who had it. We went, I first reserved it. Immediately we got to know that it wasn't there. We reserved it immediately. After 2 weeks, we registered it. Actually, it was even registered. I just had to send my signature and everything. It was registered in my absence because I was out of the country. So, but registering in my absence.
So, 2017 yewedde olutalo lwa 1M luwedde kati planning amanya abasinga wa planning ekisooka ne kimuyingiramu agwamu amaanyi like should I organize this or I should suspend it to maybe 2019? What gave you the courage to organize next year?
The fact that I did the first one, it gave me the courage to do the second one. I looked at the different aspects, the different challenges. The Zampaman okola the second one. And when I came back for the second one, katwenali still nayongezamo akasente naira kali katono. Kati 2018 to a training lab, then I go to Silver Springs. You know me, when it comes to talking and pitching to you an idea, I'll pitch to you an idea. I go to Silver Springs, I tell them this and this and this, how kids are going to be swimming from there, how the kids are going to do this and this. Silver Springs gives us what? Space to train, but we had to be buying lunch. Plate made ku Silver Springs. Imagine you've already told parents how much they should pay. Bazisasudde. Wakiwulira. Kati nekisigala eri ggwe gwakoze eki? Gwama. Now bambi for 2018. But if you got to understand me, era show ya 2018. nayitira mu nkuba wagenda okuyanga sikyalabika nalinga kizungirizi nayitamu buyesi
alinga bano bapromota abaduka ku bayimbi
oyo yali nze nabayitamu awo bagenda okukuba esimu biki tukyaliwa because one there was no money and no one could understand that living the show nga you don't have even a coin you get. It's actually my hubby who helped and my friends, and they got me off. Nenkolachi, nenvaawo ku scene. Naye it was a challenging year, but it gave me that I swore to myself that it is going to be the last bad year I have, and it happened.
How were the next years?
They were the best. The best.
Kati wali prepared.
Yes.
Parents, how did they welcome this? Bachira babatya.
It's really positive. It's positive, the welcome, because singa kibadde kiri negative nandi kirabidde ku audition. Now when I auditioned 2017 the number was okay, 2018 the number was okay, 2019
kati abantu beyo
exactly. Like mumala show muba mwaka crowninga tonight nga the next day you're getting messages of when can my kid also participate? I'm like, but the show has just ended.
About being patient and not giving up. So time is not on our side. Bubaka Chibu omuntu ali eyo nga ayina idea ngeyo, because these ideas are the most difficult to okubiteeka mu nkola. Omuwa magezi ki?
One, never give up. Don't focus on the money. If you have a brand, totunulira nnyo kya ssente. Look at how best can you work to get the money. Don't look at the money itself. How best can you work to get the money. Bintu ki by'olina okukola oba bintu ki by'oyinza okukola gwe okulaba nga brand yo ezimbibwa positively ate ng'ekukola ki ng'ekuleetera ssente. Bw'oba dealinga n'abaana, this is one advice I'd give to people who are dealing with kids. If you're dealing with kids, mujeemu ekintu ky'okugamba ono mwana wa munene ono si wa munene. It is really so bad. I work with kids. I don't care how much money you have. If you come to Little Miss Uganda, you have come to Little Miss Uganda. You will eat the same food as the rest are eating. Goba amanyira kulya sausage, I do not care. If we are going to do rice, you will do that. Learn how to respect kids. If it comes to kids, learn how to respect them despite of how their family is, how their income is. It doesn't matter. These are kids. When you're dealing with kids, these are different objects that are really delicate. You need to stand to your goals. Ekyasente nekisooka kikuvaamu no focusinga ku mwana and how best you can make that kid be. The family will always appreciate you.
Trisha's story is interesting. I think ngenda kuddamu nkukyazeeyo. Time tebadde kusaidia ffe naye I feel like we have a lot to learn.
Sure.
Because young girls abasinga baagala nnyo ebintu. They like such ideas naye tebamanyi where to start from. By the way, bino ebintu bizibu nnyo because in most cases these ideas tezeetaaga like financial capital. Byetaaga sometimes social capital. Ebintu ebyenjawulo. So Trisha, I think I'll bring you back. Time was not on our side. I hope you will allow.
I will.
Tusisinkane weekend ja program ebadde ya Inspire.